Woe to you, O earth and sea.
It's the Hop Nation
USA Podcast.
It's episode 149 of the Hop Nation USA podcast. We're coming to you sort of live from our respective homes in quarantine on lockdown, as everybody is, as every podcast across America is. And you can see that my co-host Adam is here.
Of course, as always.
And you can see our guest for this week is Dennis from First Sip Brewbox, if you couldn't read his giant background.
That is true. I try to give you guys as many clues as I can.
I mean, we're audio and video now, so yeah, we have both. And if you're watching the video on YouTube, you can see Dennis's giant branding.
We don't play around here. We don't got much, but what we do have works.
Right on. Well, welcome to the show. This is what we do now.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
This is the new normal.
It's kind of weird not being right next to you guys right now. Just hearing all the jabs and the banter back and forth. This is definitely a different experience.
This is still better than the first week where we had to quarantine, where I did one portion myself and Steve did his own portion himself, and there was no banter back and forth whatsoever.
Oh, man.
It was
that had
brutal.
to have been painful.
It was. It was not enjoyable.
Was not
Well,
good.
I'm sure with everything going on, there's a lot of firsts for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to start making pies.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Why not? What else am I going to do?
Oh, everybody else seems to be on the sourdough bread train, but
No.
you know, you're going to get into pies.
Yeah. Don't pie
I'm not
shame me.
against you making pies.
Hell
I mean,
no.
can you leave one on your porch? I
Yeah.
respect social distancing, but I respect pie more.
Are you just going to be like a cartoon villain and steal it off of my windowsill?
If you're silly enough to leave your window open, absolutely. I would definitely snag some. What kind of pies you thinking?
I got to go with a classic, first of all. I got to start with an apple.
Good choice.
Eventually, I'd like to be able to get into a pumpkin, but I have a feeling it's a little more advanced.
I think that's pie number 3 territory. That ain't second pie territory. You can't just
you got to work your way up.
starting off. Maybe a cherry or a peach cobbler. Oh, peach cobbler. I don't care if your window's closed. If you make
You're just going to smash your window. It's a smash and grab job.
I'm respectful. I'll knock. Push my way through.
Hey, you making pie? Yeah? Good. Give it to me.
Thought so.
All right, well, this is not Pie Nation USA, although it definitely could be.
Spin-off. That's your European spin-off.
Ooh. I guess we should talk about beers a little bit.
Yeah, we totally can.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
That's the kind of thing we're into these days.
What's everybody drinking tonight?
So I'll go first. I'm continuing my goal of emptying the beer fridge. I'm trying to get all the stock down to nothing. So this week I am trying something from Straub Brewery, the Peter Straub Tight Lines Kolsch. I don't know if you can see that or not. This is obviously it's a Kolsch. 2016 World Beer Cup bronze medal winner. 5% ABV, 25 IBUs. And I've been sipping on it a little bit while I've been trying to get everything set up. And it's pretty good. I like it. It's good, malty, like a Kolsch. Steve, I don't know that this is a Kolsch that you would like.
Is it, I don't know, compare it to the NX one. That's the only one I like.
I think the NX one was a little bit better.
Okay. I did like the North Country one we had not too long ago too.
Well, that was kind of a different one, wasn't it? That wasn't just a straight up Kolsch, right?
No, that one was a straight up Kolsch. The one that was a little bit
had adjuncts in it or something.
That was actually the name,
No.
straight up Kolsch.
No, I think the other one you're thinking of it might be the Crane Room one. That was the bourbon barrel.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was also another good one.
Yeah, that was a good one, but it tasted nothing like a Kolsch. It tasted like caramel whiskey.
Details.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm not against caramel whiskey.
Wait,
so
Dennis, you were there.
Yeah, no, we all know I have a problem. I have a problem.
You could have definitely had that.
Waiting for this head to settle down a little bit. I'm definitely dipping into some Pineapple Express from Allegheny City Brewing.
Oh, nice.
It's so Sammy and I went there maybe 3 weeks ago to do a beer run, and they had just sold out of all these. And then they ended up doing another can run. We were right back days later so we could actually get some. But it's one of their traditional IPAs, 6.3%. Notes of obviously pineapple. So I'm definitely excited. Got a good set of head on there.
You mean bad pour?
Aggressive pours only, Steve. Aggressive pours only. This is Rona time, baby.
Okay. Hey, you got the Ronies. Ronies means bad pours.
It means my hands get shaky.
So Dennis, I've got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
And I assume you would have a better chance at answering this than I would. With Allegheny City, were they much into canning before this whole coronavirus thing?
Yes, they actually installed a canning line into the basement of the brewery, which already down there it was tight quarters. So now when you go down,
They just wedged
it's just
it in
like
there.
it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Willy Wonka chocolate factory.
Okay.
It's just insane, but it works, and they're hustling and they're pushing out a lot of good cans.
Nice,
So.
because I knew that there were a few breweries that were kind of scrambling to get into the canning game. And I wasn't sure
Right.
if Allegheny City was or not, because in the past I haven't seen them be too prevalent on the can side,
Right.
and I wasn't sure if this was just a very recent move or they just timed it really well.
I want to say maybe 6 months prior.
Oh, okay.
6 months prior to shit going down. Since
Okay.
craft beer Chernobyl, CBC.
That's not what CBC is. We'll talk about that in a minute. But
That's what I call it.
So
The other one's canceled.
Aw.
Well, online. I guess they just posted that they're going to be online now. For
Yeah, that's
free
what-
for everyone.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we'll get into that in a bit because I have that in our news setup.
But first, Steve, what are you drinking?
I am drinking this.
Oh, Old Milwaukee, nice.
No. No. That's just a glass. No, I'm drinking Oro de Tontos, which is a lager. This was another one of those
What?
beers that was going to be for our wrestling episode.
Ah, okay.
Because, again, if you're watching our video element, you can see that there is a man with a luchador mask. But this is coming from the Greenbush brewery. They're supposedly out of Chicago, Illinois, but they're also out of Wisconsin.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the
yeah,
first time we brought
couple
into
of
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says Chicago, Illinois on the can, but the original brewery is in Wisconsin.
Now, is it 60652? The zip code.
I don't know.
You guys don't remember that? The Scruff McGruff commercial?
Oh my god.
Chicago, Illinois.
Wow.
60652. Yeah, I got a very weird mind.
Wow.
That's
I have no response to that. You win?
God dang it. I pulled an Adam.
yes, you did. I mean, I remember it now that you bring it up, but boy.
That's back. Jingles used to work.
Apparently they still work.
Well, now we're just so overloaded with so much, advertisement and sensory just overload from all directions. Back then we had one TV and maybe the radio if grown folks weren't listening to it.
Grown folks?
Grown folks, man, you better not change that station. You get beat.
But
Okay then.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe Adam and I should trade on this episode. I think you would like this. It's pretty plain.
I don't know what that kind of statement is against me, but all right.
Yeah, it's just you like lagers more than I do.
It's true. It's true. I do like lagers.
Yeah. and
I was very surprised that you picked up a lager until you explained where it came from. Now it
And the
completely
history
makes
behind
sense.
it.
Right. This was for something else. This wasn't for me. It was for the show.
Right.
So definitely not a fan, Steve?
It's fine. Like honestly, it's better than a lot of other lagers we've had on the show. It's just very very plain because it's a 4 or 5 lager with 16 IBUs. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not a Steve-esque beer if I've ever seen it.
No, I mean, but it's fine. There's really nothing wrong with it, and I actually do enjoy it more than most lagers.
Well, that's good. That's good to know.
Yeah,
It is good.
yeah.
Mine's delicious. I'm sorry, Steve.
No, I'm sure it is.
I don't think you have to apologize.
I'm sure it is. I'm jealous of it. We'll get into this at the end of the episode, but you know how we used to do the podium, right, Dennis?
Oh yeah.
Well, we don't do that anymore because it doesn't make sense. So the end of
That's true.
the end of the episode is we kind of say would we rather trade with somebody else. So right now I would rather trade with Adam and Dennis.
I see what you were laying the groundwork for.
Yeah. I would rather trade with Adam and Dennis right now. It looks like they're drinking things I would rather have.
Oh, if only that worked in real life. You
Right.
just walk by, I'd rather have that car.
Admittedly, Steve, you almost had a chance to drink this tight lines because I picked it up for the TV show, and we ended up not using it. So it's been sticking around as part of the stockpile for a while.
Now that I recall, you have a healthy stockpile of brews.
Not anymore.
Maybe not now. I didn't think so. You've been putting in your work.
No. Happy hours have been pushed to 0. And so I gotta drink at home now.
Yeah. Oh man, what a tough life you live.
It
man.
is.
I mean,
It
Jesus.
is. And they even make me grill outside when it's nice.
Oh no.
Bullshit.
Awful.
Absolute bullshit.
Well, maybe now when we come over in the future, after Rona Gate 2020, the brews that you do have won't have like a layer of dust on them because they're just there for the pretty looks.
Just so you know, I dusted off this Straub before we started the show.
I knew it. It does sound like a good beer, though.
It is good. I mean, it's an award winner. How could it not be?
It's true. Oh, wow.
Yeah, the other nice thing about Adam's stock is that it's not going to be full of a bunch of IPAs that are
is true.
gone skunky or they're no
You don't have
good
to worry
anymore.
about freshness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything he has is meant to just be aged.
Right.
Jeez, so many stouts.
I think I've got a pumpkin from 2015 laying around.
Yeah. So yeah, Adam has a good fridge for that.
Yes.
There's everybody who's a hazy boy. Their cellars are going bad and their fridges are going bad.
Yeah, they're
They
on a
gotta drink it
72-hour
now.
clock.
Yeah. So
Or they're going to be drinking some mellow. If they have some West Coast IPAs, they're going to be very mellow.
yeah, this is the roughest on them. Nobody's thinking about them.
This is.
Brewers are all going to
Gotta
get
get 'em
their opportunity, their wish. They're going to be lagers and Kolsch's coming out of this.
It's true. It's true. Time to make our own styles, baby.
They got all the time in the world to ferment. So
They do. There's no rush. Oh, talking to some brewery owners, they're selling out. Like cans are just flying off the shelves, which is good. I'm definitely happy. I don't know if we're gonna get into that part in the episode, but
yeah, I
figured
figured
the state of breweries and all that stuff.
Yeah, I figured we get into it a bit. We might get into that into the next segment when just catching up with you because I know you've been out and about, and I know you're in a lot of contact with breweries. What I wanted to talk about first, though, is IPA related because I don't know if either of you've seen it. I'm sure you have, but the new Altogether beer coming out.
Yes, it's similar to the Resilience that came out previously, right?
Right.
It's one of those recipes that everyone does for a cause. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. So it was put together by Other Half Brewing out of I believe they're out of Brooklyn, New York. But the beer is just one of those type of beers like you were saying, like the Resilience IPA that was for the campfire, or they did another one for the Australian fires. This one is to benefit hospitality workers.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That's huge.
So what kind of details are there on the Altogether? I know it's an IPA, but have you guys had a chance to take a look at the recipe itself?
I haven't.
I did.
And what kind of hops are in there?
Well,
Come on, Simcoe.
yeah.
Come on, Citra.
Yeah. So yeah, look, I was looking at the recipe, and it is pretty much everything is in there. They have a free recipe for both breweries and home brewers.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's also where I got all the artwork from. I got it out of their Dropbox.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, but they have it set up so it can either be a New England IPA or a West Coast.
Just one variation that would, probably different yeast too, or?
Yeah. So the differences are in yeast and in the bittering hops. So
Flaked oats.
the grain bill is the same. The grain bill is just 2-row flaked oats and some carapils.
Okay.
But the yeast is different, and then the bittering hops is different. So, like in the New England version, you're supposed to use Columbus and shoot for like a 10 IBU, kind of 10 IBUs on that, and then the West Coast you're supposed to shoot for 50 IBUs.
I mean,
That's after you drink it. If you get some Chipotle to go.
Yeah.
ooh. Oh, don't say that, because I really want to go get some Chipotle.
Curbside, baby.
It's been weeks.
You're close enough. You can get DoorDash.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure they will definitely deliver to you.
I could, but that's like $8 on top of what the regular bowl is.
I think it's only like $5, 5 cents. Okay, maybe 8.
Make it a big order and make it worth it.
I want 8 burritos, 4 bowls,
Yeah.
and 6 buckets of guac.
Not gonna lie. So we hit up went down to 11th Hour, and they had one of our favorite food trucks down there. This past Saturday, Sam and I did a little date night or daytime extravaganza, and we spent like $60 at that food truck because we got meals for like the next 3 or 4 days, like kimchi bowls, Cuban sandwiches. We were just stacking up to go.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No, so you can do it.
I appreciate the confidence, Dennis. That makes me feel good on the inside.
You're welcome.
Back to this beer. Apparently there's 448 breweries that are participating.
So far?
So far, yeah, as of recording right now. There's 40 states involved, 29 countries.
Wow, holy shit.
Yeah. There are a couple notable breweries, Trillium, The Vale, Omnipolo, Weldworks, Hoofhearted. And then there's a shitload of PA breweries that are actually involved. So,
any in the Pittsburgh area?
So outside of the Pittsburgh area is like Imprint, Odd Logic, Springhouse. In the Pittsburgh area, Grist House, Dancing Gnome, Hitchhiker, and Voodoo, depending on how you want to look at it.
We'll include them.
Yeah.
bring 'em in.
Voodoo is both in and out. So
Schrodinger's Brewery.
I like that.
So yeah, it's breweries across the nation, and again, they're being encouraged to either donate to like a hospitality fund, or in general, it seems like a lot of breweries are just donating the proceeds to their staff.
Makes sense. You got to start at
That's
home.
pretty legit. Yeah, you got to take care of your people, or else you don't have a brewery anymore.
Right. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I believe Grist House is releasing their version this weekend. I don't know when Dancing Gnome, Hitchhiker, and Voodoo are putting theirs out, but yeah, I know Grist House is putting theirs out this weekend.
No, I'm just laughing because my immediate thought was, because it's just so ingrained in me, is it going to be a can release? Is it just going to be on draft only? My idiot brain didn't catch up for a second that, hey, idiot.
There's no drafts at all. There's no drafts at all anymore.
It's not really your fault, Adam. I mean, this has never been a thing before.
Right. But
so.
just my idiot brain, that's where it immediately went to.
You get some leeway.
Yeah.
It's just your brain's just hungry. It just needs a burrito.
Needs that Chipotle.
Oh, it does.
You're not yourself when you're hungry.
Also, you got to remember, like, the Resilience IPA. I believe that was mostly draft only. So, yeah,
Right.
but yeah, no, they had the label art because the Resilience IPA and things like that were only draft. That means there wasn't a lot of label art, but they did create label art. Obviously, if you're watching video, you can see it. But they created label art for the can, and it's supposed to be used, across the country, so everybody knows it's that beer, that it's going to a charity.
It's got that common branding.
Yeah, and I went through, like, again, I said I went through the Dropbox files, and you can download it.
I feel like Steve's a hacker, but he did everything legitly.
Yeah, no, it's just up there. You can just get the Illustrator files. I can put a Hop Nation USA logo on it if I wanted to, but
So, are you guys gonna do a homebrewed version?
probably not, but we could, but probably not.
Right. I mean, we could do that after we're able to, be within 6 feet of each other
Yeah.
Yeah.
in like July.
Yeah, but I just don't.
Shit.
I have like a bunch of other recipes I want to do. I'm not going to do.
Right. Nah, I hear you.
Yeah.
You left just enough hope in your voice. Probably not. But we could.
Let me put it this way: the recipe is easy enough that we could do it,
Yes.
Yeah.
but won't.
Now, if you were to do it, would you go New England style or West Coast?
I would probably go the West Coast.
Yeah.
Adam?
Yeah. I'd have to agree with Steve on that one. Go West
Yeah.
Coast.
So you would take more IBUs?
I didn't say I was gonna drink it.
Oh shit!
I'd help him brew it. I have zero problem with that.
Yeah, it's a homebrew.
Yeah.
Got it.
He's taking them with him. Don't leave any in my house.
I don't think you have to twist Steve's arm.
No,
with that
no,
one.
I doubt it.
Oh well, someplace we could take it would be to
Ah,
the
you
North Hills
asshole.
Homebrew Festival.
You stole my bridge.
Oh, the segues. You guys are men among men.
Yeah, so originally we were scheduled to go to the North Hills Homebrew Festival
Right.
for their fourth
Ditto.
annual, and we were going to do a podcast there, and that was going to happen in May, but obviously canceled.
Yeah. Pushed it back to when? October?
No. It is pushed back to August 29th.
August.
Yeah.
So you can still wear
So
shorts.
close.
Yeah, you can still wear shorts. You can still go outside drinking and have a good time. Interesting fact, Brian Llewellyn pointed this out to me, that it's now on basically around the same weekend that Brewers Fest at Cooper's Lake was.
Okay.
Oh.
So,
Yeah. Because even with all the, not necessarily petitions, but everyone saying we need to keep this going, and they stopped it, so there might be a lot of overflow to North Hills Brew Fest. That's cool. I like it.
yeah, we'll be there. We're still on the docket. We're still on the website as advertised as being there.
And Dennis, I know you'll be there in some capacity.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be there. Maybe jumping on the podcast. Who knows? Might just sneak by.
Sure.
We'll
I mean,
definitely
we can
have
just
something
let you.
set
We
up.
can let you run the podcast, and we'll go drinking instead.
I'm not good with that kind of responsibility.
Just don't break anything. We'll be fine.
No, I don't trust myself to sit there by myself the whole time. I would literally get up and then see you two, and you guys would be like, "Who's running the podcast?" I'm like, "You're not." It's just empty.
This is gonna take a lot of editing.
Just 30 minutes of just chairs.
It is Dennis like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is good.
This is good too.
We have been together long enough. You know what's going to happen.
Honestly, that's probably not that hard at editing. It's just like find the point where Dennis leaves and then find the point where Dennis comes back and then just delete the rest.
That's true. Now that I think about it, it's pretty straightforward.
Wasn't there one other thing we were going to talk about?
Yeah, the last thing Dennis already brought it up, but the CBC, which is not Craft Beer Chernobyl,
Yet.
the Craft Brewers Conference.
So close.
Yeah,
So close.
that is it. Has been the physical event was canceled, but it's been rescheduled as a 5-week online seminar that's free for everybody.
Right.
That starts up April 13th, and it runs to May 15th.
So is it set up so it's kind of an open source where you can kind of check it out on your schedule, or are they set seminar dates?
Like live events.
Right.
So it's kind of both, actually. They do have set live seminars, and I believe it's like 500 people per seminar that can kind of join in. So like if you go on the website now, craftbrewersconference.com, you can sign up for seminars that you want to be a part of.
Gotcha.
And then you can participate live, but if you don't get that chance, all of the seminars are going to be available to watch until May 31st.
That's
Okay.
pretty legit.
So you don't necessarily have the opportunity to interact live during the seminar, but you can still go back and review it at your pace.
Right.
Oh, all right. That's good. I like
Yeah.
that.
And it's free for everyone. And like, I mean, personally, there's not much for us, I don't think. Like there's a couple sales seminars that might be good for you, Dennis. Something that we can all look into is there's a seminar that's 30 ways to engage your local home brewer community.
Ah,
So
okay.
that's something.
That's pretty legit.
That's
Yeah, I'll
something
have to
all of
tune
us
in
could
on
get
that
in. There's also just like a lot of like brewer safety stuff, and that's not for us because we don't work on that scale. We home brew on a turkey fryer. There's no turkey fryer tips.
Right. if it all goes to hell, just turn it off. Just
It'll
turn the
keep you
knob.
warm in wintertime. That's all I know. Yeah, this shit was cold the one year we were
Yeah,
out
no
there.
kidding. No kidding.
No,
Yeah.
it's awesome. I'm definitely excited to jump on there, check out some of that stuff. 500 people live, though, doesn't sound like a lot when there was thousands of people going to the conference.
Yeah.
But I get it. They're still going to be available, to check out at your leisure. So that's pretty legit.
Right. It might even be 1,000. I'm not totally sure. It's just like when I went on the website and was looking at some of the seminars, there was like 450 spaces left and things like that.
Oh, shit.
So I know
Yeah.
like Zoom has like top out levels of like 500 and 1,000.
Right.
So I'm not sure.
Which I don't even think I know 500 people to get in on a single Zoom session.
Right.
So, yes, I understand that's for the business level, but just
Well,
trying to figure,
it'll-
somebody, just an individual trying to get 500 people together. No, thank you.
It all depends on what you're showing on that Zoom session, baby.
The shirt will stay firmly on. Thank you very much.
All right, 10 people will show up.
Yeah, I think it'll be a cool thing to check out.
Especially if we're also on lockdown. Like, there's no reason to not go in and, like, better yourself. You know what I mean? If you're just at home or
Yeah.
wherever you are.
Yeah, that way you can extend out some of the other TV shows you're watching and fill up your day with seminars.
Right. It's true. Netflix, it shouldn't even say, I saw this on a meme, it shouldn't even ask you if you're still there anymore. Yeah, we're here. It should ask, just get up, go take a shower, and come back. Just true.
So I would
It should
I
ask
had
if you're.
Go ahead, Steve.
No, I was just gonna say it should ask like, do you got to poop?
If it did randomly ask that, I'm like, thank you, Netflix, for
Yeah.
looking out.
It's like, hey, you got to poop right now? Yeah, thanks Netflix.
Yeah, you do.
Instead
my
of, are you
friend,
still
Netflix.
there, making us feel guilty? Yeah, Netflix, I plan on finishing this whole season tonight.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Anyway, what were you gonna say, Adam?
I was gonna say I fell into the trap for the first time of working from home. I've been trying to keep a steady schedule of waking up at the same time, taking a shower, doing all the morning prep and everything like that, and walking over to my computer, trying to keep a set schedule. Well, unfortunately, this morning I fell into the trap where last night I changed my alarm to try to get a little bit more sleep. Completely screwed it up.
Slippery slope, my friend. Slippery slope.
I woke up with 3 minutes to spare before my normal work start time, and I still made it to work on time. So
You didn't even have to wear pants.
the morning session was definitely in sweatpants and a wrinkled T-shirt. I was just glad I didn't have any video calls this morning
Oh, God.
because the hair was a mess. An old 15-year-old T-shirt that nobody should be seeing.
But those are the best ones. They have built-in ventilation, like all the moth holes that are in them.
It's an artisan T-shirt. It's one of one.
It is.
That is a shirt I'm wearing right now.
I love it.
I've got a Leonard Skinner shirt that's got a shitload of holes in it.
Nice.
Can't beat that.
All right.
yeah.
Well, I think we've got pretty caught up on the news. There are some, after a couple of weeks of really depressing news, we have some good things going on with the All Together beer and the Craft Brewers Conference online.
People are learning to adapt. There's adjustments being made.
That's it. Gotta be creative.
That's why we're here doing this the way we are right now.
Right.
This is so weird.
It is. I cannot wait to get everybody back around the table.
Yeah, it's so much easier.
Yeah, it really is.
But
For sure.
yeah, so we're going to take a little short break. I'm going to save everything that I've been recording, and then we'll jump back on to segment 2, and we'll catch up with Dennis and everything going on in his world and the First Sip Brewbox world.
Yes. So
Oh, yeah.
we'll be back. We'll give you your Netflix poop check, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Check.
Poop check.
Poop check.
Welcome back to episode 149 of the Hop Nation USA podcast. We're here with our guest, Dennis from First Sip Brewbox.
What up, guys?
He just cracked a new beer. Drinking the same thing from Allegheny City, though, right?
Nope. We rolled into some 11th hour, some of their Makeshift Dynamite.
Oh.
There's a New England style IPA coming in at 8%. Let's read some of the hops. You got, what is that? Barbie Rogue and Mosaic. Some real good, tasty stuff.
Love me some Mosaic.
Focus. Nah, it's not going to focus. You can look it up. 11th hour, Pittsburgh.
Good people, good beer.
Oh, yeah, it's juicy.
Not so much on the pour, though.
He's got the Ronies, and one of the symptoms of the Ronies is bad pores.
Hey,
Shaky hands and bad pores.
that is a clean glass.
You don't have to put more branding into the camera. It's already there.
Fine. This side's clean, too.
Steve, did you crack a new beer for this segment as well?
I am just drinking the morning feels again from last week.
Oh,
Cleaning
okay.
up the rest of my batch on that.
Right on.
So nothing new there. But yeah, again, coffee and tea beer from Grist's house. It's really good, really smooth.
I love coffee beers.
This is an excellent one, and because it's different because it's a paler beer. Not quite as pale as the Cold Drip City from Spoonwood, but still it's not a stout, so that makes it different. Adam, are you onto something new?
I am. Well, new for the show. I've had a few of these before, but this is the North Country Ugg Life.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a pumpkin spice beer. Let me give you the description. An extra basic pumpkin spice latte stout. A sweet stout brewed with lactose and pumpkin spices, then aged on coffee.
That is perfect for you, by the way. That is awesome.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. This is indicative of two things for sure. One, definitely cleaning out the fridge. And two, we're definitely in the land of no rules because you're drinking pumpkin beers in April.
Yeah.
It's anarchy. It's
Yeah.
anarchy. People are rioting in the streets as we speak.
I'm discovering shelves that I haven't seen in months.
Well, there you go.
That's awesome.
Because that's what happens whenever I go beer shopping. Is my eyes are bigger than my stomach. So like, oh, I'll grab one of those. Oh,
And you
grab one of
never
those.
drink
I'll get one of those.
on your own at the house, really. Traditionally, you never do.
Right, because traditionally I'll do a happy hour or go out for drinks after work or
Right.
something like that. Now I can't do that.
Or Steve and I come over.
or you and Steve come over. Yeah. But now nobody's allowed in the house. It's just me and the Dust Bunnies. So
Oh, that's cute.
I'm drinking the stash.
Like a 1973 porn film, drinking the stash.
Gross.
You can cut it if you want. Darren's my spirit animal.
I'm not cutting that. I know what that is. I know that's definitely you missing Darren in your bingo nights down at Couch.
It's funny. I just spoke to him before I called Adam. I was talking with Darren, see how he was doing since he got back from Egypt and everything down at Couch.
So how are the folks at Couch? How's everybody doing down there?
They're doing good. They're trying to, plan some releases so they don't end up in worst beer blog like some unnamed breweries. So they're no, I didn't say, but
we said it last week.
Oh,
Thanks for listening, Dennis.
well, come on, man. It's in the archives. But they're doing good. The team's doing well. Checked in on some of their people that they have down there. They're still brewing. I think a lot of the smaller breweries are going to weather this storm, so they're doing good.
I hope so.
I think like one of the last things I saw from them before like this all came down, they were releasing seltzers.
Yes.
Is that something on their menu that they're looking to push out? Just because it's an easy sell.
Right. That's a good question. I'll have to follow up with Darren. I know they came out with quite a few different seltzers. I think between 6 and 8 different seltzers. And you know how my memory is. It could be 2 to 4. But less than 10 different seltzers. And they were really digging it. And some of the last batches I had were absolutely phenomenal. So I don't see them stopping that. I don't know if they're scaling back what all they're brewing. So we'll see. I'll try to find out for you guys and shoot it out.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure we'll have you back. We're the number of guest hosts that we can have is very limited at the moment because I need people who can record their audio and things of that nature. So it's like you and Jason, and I think we'll have Ryan from Fueled by Hops coming up shortly. So yeah, but
Wow.
Letter already equipped.
yeah.
The old 3.
Yeah, people who are equipped to podcasts can easily jump in on this. So
Who could record during quarantine?
Right.
Quarantine.
Quarantine.
This is what the show has devolved into.
Hey,
I love
it's even at this level, it's still better than a shitload of podcasts. So.
It is.
That is incredibly accurate.
Yeah. So you're talking about a little bit how it's impacting Couch, but I mean, how's it impacting First Sip? Because I know you guys are rolling into your 5th year of business, and I don't think you expected this.
No, we did not. But one thing that I always preach to a lot of small businesses out there that we work with and that we mentor is diversifying your channels of revenue. So for example, one of the businesses that I was talking to over and over again, they relied heavily on events, foot traffic, that kind of stuff. I've been preaching to them, you need to build up an online infrastructure. Because if you don't, whether it's government, regulation, deregulation, there's always that X factor out there. In this case, a global pandemic that no one saw coming. And all events are canceled and there's no foot traffic. So now they're really, struggling, trying to figure out what to do. We were lucky enough to already have the moves in place where we actually moved away from doing in-person events unless they were really exclusive collaborative events like different beer fests, releases, things like that. So we feel very happy that we had that infrastructure built in. So initially when all this hit, online orders stopped. They didn't happen. So we had to get really creative. We need to stay operational. We need to weather the storm, but we also, this is heavily impacting our brewing family. So we want to be able to do something that helps us keep going and to where we can give back. So what we did, we launched our Stand Strong campaign. You guys have seen the different shirt designs and everything we've done. That, was phase one that we put out there to build awareness, because a lot of people know, restaurant workers, people in the medical industry need masks and they're out there on the front lines. I felt like the craft beer industry was kind of getting overlooked. So phase one was building awareness that, there's tons of people being laid off, furloughed. It's hitting this industry hard if people can't come into the tap rooms. And they're small businesses, small mom and pop shops. So phase one was to build awareness around this, and thanks, Steve, for popping that up there. That's a logo that we Sammy actually drew. My wife Drew designed it, and we got it put on some shirts. Everyone involved in that project's all local. We used a local printer. We got stickers made from a local printer, sticker shop and everything. But it's actually helping us not only keep going, we're actually growing our business, which is who would have thought, during a time like this. So it actually got us back into looking to bring on some more folks. We just got approved by the University of Pittsburgh to not bring on one more intern, but 2 more interns. So now we have 3 interns. So we actually have a small little staff, which is insane to think. And they're all under unique scholarships that are keeping them paid. So they have income and everything going on right now too. So for us, we're happy to say that we're weathering this storm, and it was humbling to see a lot of folks, past subscribers, current subscribers, industry friends, reach out to us and say, hey guys, how can we support First Sip? We want to, should we get a shirt? Should we get a box? And that was so humbling to see that. And you don't think of that in your day-to-day life, how many people, because we started this business, we wouldn't know you guys.
That's
if we
very
didn't
true.
start this.
Yeah.
Well, I probably would just have been a fanboy at that point. I found out about the podcast and just listened. But it's just so humbling to see the people that you run into over the years. Like you said, Steve, we're going into our 5th year of business, or working towards our 5th year of business. And just the people that we've interacted with that have grown more than acquaintances, more than friends. We look at them as family, and 10% of all proceeds that we make with this campaign, we've been reaching out to breweries and hey, how are your teams doing? Do they need household items? Do they need food? Do they need gas in their car? Let us know. We're doing, trying to, give gift cards to Get Go or wherever they want to, wherever they need help. And so that's kind of what this phase one's all about. Phase 2 is the rebuilding after all this happens. The Brewers Association's calling for, if this goes on for 60 to 90 days, 46 to 50% of breweries will close. That's 4,000 breweries across the U.S., which is insane. So I've been pushing people to think about that next step, rebuilding. So we've been reaching out to different grants, different local and state municipalities and everything to see what funds are out there so we can help once when everything goes back to normal, driving traffic back in the breweries and helping them get back to profitability.
There's a lot of small business loans that are available right now for on all kinds of levels. So
there's so much money out there.
I assume breweries know about them, but if they don't, that kind of awareness is very helpful to have.
I think it's the mentality too, right? A lot of people may be taking this as shit. I guess we got to close. This is because this is unprecedented, right? But people need to have the mentality, think about how hard it was to open your brewery or whatever business you have. How difficult was that? Do not let this be the end of you. There's money out there. Don't let just the well-connected people with large teams of employees be the ones to get it. Small businesses, small mom and pop shops are what keeps this country running.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I will say, whenever we are done with this shelter in place and everything, we're able to get back to normal, the breweries that are able to stay open and weather the storm and everything, it's going to be a mad rush back to those places. It is going to be insane.
They're already selling out of stuff like Abjuration. Like every time that they had to set up their stuff for pre-orders only because they were crushing it, man. Like selling out of all kinds of stuff down there. So props to Tom, Dave, all those guys. My Green Goblin buddy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I haven't been able to get back down there since before all this. So yeah, it's good to hear that they're doing well. Again, so like you guys are in a particular position that you didn't have a storefront to worry about closing, and because it's basically you and your wife doing it out of the home. So that was, I guess it was an advantage for you guys that you could do everything by mail as you have been. Have you had any issues with like suppliers? Because I know you get a lot of foodstuffs.
Yeah. So what we've ran into, Steve, was the biggest thing that affected our planning was breweries no longer having the marketing capital, because we had the next 8 months planned out, who we were featuring, what we were doing. And since their tap rooms are closed, 70% of their income's gone. Like, hey guys, we can no longer afford to like get shirts and pint glasses and stuff actually made for you to feature. So like our next 8 months went from feeling nice and comfy for 2020, everything finally planned out, to back to the drawing board. So that's the biggest thing that hit us. But just for example, like launching this campaign, some of the stuff that we have planned in the future, it's all about, having that creative tenacity of being a small business owner. You have to be able to pivot. You never know what's going to come around that corner. So that, I would say that's the biggest thing that hit us. A lot of the food manufacturers and everything we work with, they're still going. I mean, they're hurting, just like everyone else, because sales are down. But they're still open. They're still pushing out stuff. We're still getting products in.
Right on. That's good. I mean, I kind of figured like you guys would still be getting your jellies and your jams. Yeah, obviously, if people can't afford to spend on T-shirts to send it to you.
Right. But they can't. Yeah, the brewery-wise. But on the consumer side, people have money and they're bored at home. I know I've never ordered so much stuff off of Amazon in my life. Like, I just say same thing with Sammy. Like every day we just go on, shit, well, let's Dick's Sporting Goods running a flash sale, like 70% off. I was like, all right, I can get a couple new t-shirts. I'll put the holes in myself.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I bought grill parts this afternoon.
You know it's a hot commodity right now?
Yeah.
That's huge right now. So
I'm surprised you haven't bought like a smoker yet.
Day's not over yet. No, the one thing that's been really bothering me is I wish I was able to get a large project in the house that I could work on. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to get anything in the house before we went into shutdown city. So that's been the kind of hard part for me is
you got to work with your hands.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't go into the garage and work on something like I wanted to this spring. That all kind of just got derailed.
Yeah.
So now just everything gets cleaned again. And
Your house was already spotless.
Yeah, well, I found more spots. Did you know there's a spot
say,
behind the bookcase?
All your beer's gone.
Yeah, that's the house clean.
He's Lysoling his wood patio.
Oh my goodness. he Adam's the type of guy that would Lysol all of his mail that he gets. He just sprays it all off.
What, you don't Lysol your Lysol bottle before you use it?
That's a good point. No, I don't. Because I'm sane.
That's why people are hoarding Lysol. They need to have Lysol to Lysol the Lysol.
And that's,
Lysol
believe it or not, that's never ending.
Yeah. Just never stops.
Just never stops, so they buy it all.
I was lucky. I got the last bottle of disinfectant when I was at Walmart a few days ago. There was one left that I use, one lonely bottle sitting on the shelf until I got there. And then, of course, there was some lady standing in front of it for about 5 minutes playing on her phone, oblivious to the world.
Oh, and you had to respect social distancing, so you
Lady,
couldn't push
get out
past
of the
her to get
way!
it. You should have got the bottle of Lysol sprayed her. Like,
Should have hit her with my cart.
That's awesome. But don't do it.
No, no.
People crazy.
I just went and got other stuff and came back. It was okay.
I don't know. I think at this point you can just say, excuse me, like from, like, can you move?
Yeah.
That's true.
It's okay to do that now.
Come on.
Yeah.
If you don't know by now, that's your fault.
People are people. That's all I'll say.
That's a very good way of putting it.
So, Dennis, you mentioned, Abjuration's doing pretty good. I know, like, you live closer to the city and you spend a lot of time going to different breweries, when there's not quarantine. Have you visited anybody else, like caught up with anybody else during this?
Yes. So we... Hold on.
Thermometer.
Oh, sorry. My wife needs a thermometer. Here you go. So we visited. We did like a whole day where we went out and checked in with different breweries. We went out to Oryx, talked with Eric and Katie and checked in with those guys. They're also at the same point where they're constantly pushing out tons of cans, especially being the only gluten-free option around here. So they're doing well. Then we went from there to Allegheny City. Allegheny City's doing well. 11th Hour. 11th Hour had such a smooth setup. Like, we showed up. We checked in literally on the email. There was a check-in button in front of the brewery. We hit check-in. They just showed up with beer to our car. I'm kind of hoping that some of this stuff doesn't stop. Like, once everything gets lifted, because it was so easy. It was wonderful. We actually checked out a local distillery that's been on our list. 446 Distillery in Sharpsburg. We went in. I got a bottle of gin and a bottle of rum. Since all the state stores closed, we were like, let's finally go to his distillery we wanted to check out. I want to say that's the majority of the folks. We also reached out to the staff at Allegheny City. They're doing good. I reached out to the staff at Hitchhiker to see how they were doing. Intergroove's also doing very well. It seems like everyone's doing good now, but the common theme with everyone seems to be we're doing fine for now, but if this goes on longer than 30 days, we're going to be hurt. Like another 30 to 60 days,
right, yeah.
That's when they feel like shit's hitting the fan.
I get you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully my stash here at home will be low in the next 30 days, and I can restock with everybody.
Good. And take photos. Take photos of, outside the brewery, checking in.
Oh, definitely.
You're now big into that. You've been taking like a lot of photos.
I've been trained.
Show people Hop Nation USA stands beside you. Or at least,
we stand outside you with a respectable distance.
A safe distance, yeah.
We stand 6 feet away from you.
So someone asked me earlier today when I was speaking with them, because how else would they ask me, I guess? I don't know. I guess I didn't have to say that part. Was what breweries do you think are going to be hit the hardest? My personal opinion is it's going to be more the aspiring regional breweries or regional breweries. For example, like the Weibachers out there, the Evil Geniuses. I think those guys are going to be, and gals are going to be hit the hardest because they have so much investment in the distribution, so many loans, investors they have to answer to. I think those breweries are going to be a little shaken. Mm-hmm. Whereas all the neighborhood breweries, they already were running lean. It's mostly the owner and maybe 2 employees. So they're already running lean, and the solidarity of the support of their local community traditionally rallies behind those breweries if that brewery supports the community.
Right. It's a brewery that has a name and a face.
Yes.
So you're absolutely going to support them before you go to, say, like you said, a Weyerbacher. Not saying they make bad beers or anything.
They make
like
great
that.
beers. Sunday Mole Stout is one of my favorite stouts out there.
Yes, but unfortunately, they don't have that name and that face.
Right.
For
example, like Lincoln Avenue Brewery, Grant, I mean, he's down there every single day that they were open. And he literally, what I loved about there, like his wife is serving tables and he's going to every single table asking everyone, like, how's your experience? How's the beer? How's the food? All that stuff. People remember that, and that leaves a lasting impact.
Yeah. Also, specifically with like Lincoln Ave and Abjuration, and I guess I would say like Petrucci Brothers in New Brighton, like those are all very specific neighborhood beers, breweries.
Right.
So they serve, those people in that area. That's the last watering hole for those people.
That's their community identity.
Mm-hmm. So they should be fine. My concern would be with breweries that are both new and don't have any sort of canning or growler service at all.
Yes.
I would think like Headley's that recently opened up.
But they're also running super lean. It's just the two owners.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They might not have a ton of overhead, which will help in this time.
Which does remind me I should go down there and get a growler fill.
But if they're doing it, I don't know
gotta
if
go
they're
down and
doing
support
it.
them.
Well,
I gotta go
out their
check.
social
Yeah.
media. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you could ask. They might sell you a sixtel. you
Oh, jeez.
could get some
Now
of
we're
that.
all right. Now we're having ourselves a Saturday.
Just saying. You can ask. It never hurts to ask.
That's true.
Thanksgiving Day, Steve can finish a whole sixtel to himself.
Also, like Acrospire, they just opened up not too long ago, and they didn't have any sort of like distribution going. And
Right.
like, I would be worried about like smaller ones like that just have no way of getting their product out other than a possible growler fill, or if you call and like ask for a keg.
Right.
So.
And I know some breweries were leaning on each other. Hey, can we can this beer at your place? And then paying them, for whatever materials. So I've seen some overlap like that, which is phenomenal. Which makes me feel we created a company in the right industry because there's that unity between everyone.
It's with us, not against us.
That's it, baby. 100%.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think things are going as best they can. Everybody seems to be holding up well enough.
And adapting as best they can, too.
Right.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. I can't speak for other cities because I'm not even allowed out of my house right now. But I think Pittsburgh adapted really quickly as far as setting up like online, like online ordering, delivery services, all that kind of stuff. Like people were just ready to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. I agree.
And
it seemed like a lot of breweries were thinking about doing that. Like they already had some of the pieces in place, and then this hit, they're like, well, that made this decision a lot easier.
It's survival at this point.
Yeah.
And if that's a decision you have to make, so be it.
That's what's putting food on the table. I mean, a lot of brewery owners still have their full-time jobs, as you guys know, but now it's definitely put in place like, oh, okay, I feel better that I have this brewery as my backup plan, because a lot of companies that you don't own, I mean, they can let you go at any time.
Yep.
We've seen it time and time again.
Well, on that fun note,
Start your own business.
Yeah, start your own business. Great. Yeah. I'm starving for clients right now. It's always smart.
Good thing you have this podcast, Steve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because that's making me a lot of money, too. I have
6 figures each, minimum.
I have this podcast about an industry that's in the shitter right now.
Oh, shit. Well, good news is whenever your power went out, you saved a lot on electricity.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome, too.
Really reaching for that silver lining, Dennis.
Hey, it's there. Duquesne Light sends you some. Oh, I don't know if you have Duquesne Light out there in the woods. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Just a squirrel on a wheel.
Because they send me something every month. You use 9% less energy.
No, it was not fun because usually when my power goes out, I go to Dunkin' Donuts or a diner and hang out and charge my phone until that stuff comes back. But I can't do that.
Yeah, that's what Sammy was saying earlier. Like, for example, Darren, his power's been out for the last 4 days. Like, since the storm hit, terrible concept of time, 2-3 days, however long it's been. He actually had to go out and buy a generator because his wife, works from home and she needs internet, and he didn't want to lose any food in the fridge.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. That storm ripped through, and it's like putting gasoline on a fire with everything else that's going on.
Yeah, and like we talked about it before, like that's light for us, but like you've had tornadoes in like Tennessee and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's ugh. So
It's crazy.
all right, Dennis, take us out on an uplifting note. What do you give us something good before we get into the final bit here?
So by something good, like just something positive?
Yeah, something positive that's happening with First Sip Brew Box, something people can look into.
Absolutely. So, number one, we had our first interview ever with Bloomberg, which is the, international media giant.
What?
Yeah, we just had an interview with them. So they're putting us out in one of their top beer subscription boxes, which is hopefully going to drive, some more revenue our way, so we can now, since we're paying Duquesne Light, we can now pay AT&T, get them off our backs, which would be phenomenal. Just had an interview yesterday with Hot Culture, so they're putting some stuff out, and on April 20th, we'll find out if we won a Crushy Award from the Craft Beer Marketing big award show that they're doing.
Oh,
it was
nice.
going to be done live down at CBC, Craft Beer Conference, but since that's not a thing, they're going to be pushing a lot of stuff out on social media. There's like 60 different judges for different categories, and it's crazy. I looked through some of a lot of the folks on there actually we've worked with on one project or another in the past, and again, it's just one of those humbling experiences where those are the first ever in our industry, in the craft beer industry, there being a craft beer marketing award, right? And then we look at all the judges, and we worked with a lot of them on one project or another. Like, it's just crazy to think that with all the hustle that we've put into this, like, we're right up there with the greats of them, And it's,
Damn straight.
It's awesome. It's a great feeling. So we'll find out April 20th if we're getting a Crushy Award, which are actually having the awards designed by the same people that make the Emmys. So that is huge. We're super pumped about that. That's a lot of the great stuff that we have going on in our neck of the woods. Back to you, Adam, with the weather.
It sucks out. I don't want to talk about the weather.
Weather's awesome.
Rain.
It's awesome. Weather's awesome. There's snowing in April. I love it.
Yeah, weird. I drove through rain, snow, and then 2 more things of rain just today alone.
And I had blue sky. We had everything.
Oh, well.
Welcome to April.
And welcome to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
All right, so just to wrap it up, is there any beer that anybody would want to trade with? I will go first. I would want to trade Dennis for his Pineapple Express from ACB.
Ooh.
That looked really good.
It was delicious. It was very good.
I'm keeping my Kolsch from Straub, and I'm keeping my UGG Life. I'm keeping that North Country. I'm keeping it.
Okay.
You can't have any unless you come over and ask nicely.
Okay.
I love both of my beers, but I would like at least a thimble of that UGG Life. I just kind of want to try it, man. Like, I've heard some stuff.
I've got 1 can left. I could kind of put that towards the back of the pack, where if for some reason I'm able to maintain it until after,
As
when
long
you
as
can
it
come over to my
call for
place.
dire times, and then you have to rip into it.
I'll put it behind glass.
But I definitely enjoyed the Makeshift Dynamite from 11th Hour and the Pineapple Express from ACB. They were both really well done beers. The ACB was more of a traditional IPA. Makeshift Dynamite, juicy, a nice hop finish with a very fruity aroma. I mean, it was some good drinking tonight.
Right on. Oro de Tontos by Greenbush. It was pretty standard, but I was okay with it. So, yeah.
All
right. Dennis, why don't you give final plugs?
Hopefully hair plug soon. I got to get everything opened up. So first at brewbox.com for our website. Go on there, subscribe, cancel anytime, hit the shop, get any one-time purchases. Our Stand Strong shirts are in there. Our Craft Beer Diversity shirts are still going strong on there. As far as social media, it's at First Sip Brewbox on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube's, Pinterest, LinkedIn, any platform you can think of, we're probably on there. Check us out at First Sip Brewbox.
Right on. And if you want to find us, all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA on your favorite social media. As long as that social media is Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, that's all the places we're at.
The good ones.
Yeah, the good ones. If you want to listen to brand new episodes, though, search Hop Nation USA on your favorite podcatcher, and we're on all of those. Doesn't matter if it's a good one or a bad one. We're on all of them. Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We're all on all of them. And leave us a 5-star review on any of those platforms because
We are a 6-star show, but the governor mandates we only use 5.
And yeah, that's a bigger crime than us running out of time on this Zoom meeting. But stay tuned. Watch us on YouTube as well, being that we're doing video now. And we're also going to be trying to do something a little new and special with YouTube. We're going to try to put out some exclusive content. And so watch our YouTube channel for that. Other than that, thanks, Dennis, for coming on. We'll be back next week with episode 150, which will not be as special as we had hoped.
You can't leave on that note.
No, I'm good with it.
No. I do have something planned for 150. We're going to start a new series, and I think next week we're going to start watching that Brews Brothers show on Netflix.
Okay.
So
right,
you'll get to hear a weekly review of an episode a week, and we're going to start with episode 1 next week. So, yeah. But until then, stay inside, don't cough on people, and get your bandanas out.
And wash your damn hands.
Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
That has been the hardest thing out of everything, is not touching my face.
I was like, but my eyes are itchy.
They are. I got to pick my nose, too. Not allowed to.
That is actually true. It's allergy season. All right.
Bullshit.
All right. Well, see you next week. Bye.